Welcome to Auto Review Pro. There are names in the automotive world that carry such weight, they feel almost immovable. Names that stand not just as vehicles, but as legacies forged from steel and heritage. The Toyota Land Cruiser is one of those names. For decades it has been the symbol of unstoppable endurance, a four-wheeled testament to humanity's ability to conquer deserts, mountains, and the most unforgiving terrains on Earth. But now in 2026, Toyota has dared to merge that legendary lineage with something almost unimaginable. Something nearly mystical: Century. The Land Cruiser Century SUV. It sounds like two worlds colliding. A machine built upon centuries-old Japanese values of restraint, elegance, and quiet power fused with the raw, unbreakable DNA of one of the toughest SUVs ever made. This isn't just a car. It's Toyota rewriting its own script, constructing a monument that stands at the crossroads of prestige and endurance. The first time I saw it, I knew this wasn't a Land Cruiser as we knew it. No boxy silhouette, no predictable nods to its rugged past. What stood before me was a sculpture, deep navy blue, a shade that didn't just shine under light, but seemed to absorb it, swallowing reflections until the SUV became a towering shadow. The upper body lines were taut, almost regal, while the lower half carried a muscular depth, a sense of mass and permanence that made everything else in its class look like toys. The design was both majestic and beautiful, a paradox only Toyota could achieve, blending the dignity of the century with the legacy of the Land Cruiser. It didn't look like an SUV designed to be driven. It looked like an SUV designed to be followed. As I approached, I could feel its philosophy dripping from every panel. That grille, unlike anything Toyota has ever made, didn't shout aggression like so many modern SUVs that confuse presence with anger. Instead, it carried a quiet gravity, an inevitability. The wide chrome-framed mouth, filled with intricate latticework that could have been lifted straight from a Shinto temple gate, was flanked by razor-sharp LED eyes that didn't just illuminate the road, they seemed to judge it. The lamps were sleek, blade-like, yet restrained. No gimmicks. No glowing theatrics. Just surgical precision that made you wonder if this SUV saw more than you did. From the side, the silhouette was graceful in a way no Land Cruiser has ever been. As if the designers took the spirit of the Century limousine and stretched it over a new canvas, then fused it with the muscular stance of a mountain machine. The long hood flowed into an upright yet elegant cabin, while the shoulder line conveyed solidity that felt sculpted, not stamped. The wheels, massive, polished, finished in dark chrome, weren't just meant to roll. They were thrones in motion. Each looked like a ceremonial seal, the kind you'd expect to find stamped on an imperial decree. This wasn't automotive design. It was architecture. But let's not forget what the name Land Cruiser demands: capability. Beneath that aristocratic skin lies a relentless beast. The Land Cruiser Century SUV comes equipped with a hybrid powertrain, a ferocious V8 paired with electric motors that don't just push, they elevate. The numbers are impressive, yes, but they're not the point. The sensation is. Press the accelerator, and it doesn't sprint like a sports car or crawl like an off-roader. It glides with immense authority, like a titan rising from the earth. Speed doesn't arrive in bursts, but in waves, layered, continuous power, reminding you that this SUV isn't about running fast. It's about never stopping. The ride quality is where the Century bloodline asserts itself most clearly. It doesn't crash over bumps or shudder over rough surfaces. It ignores them. The suspension feels tuned not just for comfort, but for dignity. Every movement of the body is smoothed, every imperfection absorbed, until you start believing the road itself is changing beneath the weight of the machine. It feels less like you're driving, and more like you're being escorted. Step inside, and that navy shell opens into a world of restrained luxury. This isn't the flashy opulence of a Rolls-Royce or the bold flamboyance of a Bentley. No, this is something uniquely Japanese, uniquely Toyota. Black surfaces dominate with quiet authority, accented by subtle metallic trims, finely stitched leather, and polished wood inlays that shimmer like calm water. The seats cradle you in silence, as if the designers wanted you not just to sit, but to meditate. The steering wheel, thick and leather-wrapped, offers just enough feedback to remind you of the power beneath, but otherwise rests comfortably in your hands, commanding without demanding. And then, the silence. The engineers have created a cocoon so perfectly insulated that the outside world feels like a distant dream. Even when the engine starts, it hums not with a roar, but with the deep resonance of a temple bell. This SUV doesn't impress with noise, it impresses with the absence of it. The silence becomes addictive. You begin to crave it, to sink into it. And within that stillness, every detail matters. The faint vibration of the seat as the hybrid system shifts modes. The soft, deliberate click of a button. The ambient lighting that glows like candlelight, not neon. This is craftsmanship. Driving the Land Cruiser Century SUV feels both futuristic and ancient. Futuristic, because the technology borders on the unbelievable, fully adaptive systems, sensors that read not just the road but your mood, and near-autonomous driving capability if you allow it. Ancient, because the philosophy beneath it feels timeless, a ceremonial reverence for movement itself. As if this SUV wasn't designed merely to transport, but to honor the journey. And yet, with all its grace, it remains a Land Cruiser. Its off-road systems are brilliant, invisible when you don't need them, omnipresent when the terrain demands. Hill descent, rock crawl, water fording, none of it feels like a challenge. It feels like protocol. Watching this majestic figure glide over mud and stone feels almost wrong, like seeing a samurai in ceremonial robes draw his blade with lethal precision. But that's what makes it mesmerizing. This isn't just a luxury SUV. It's the fusion of two legends. Competitors like the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, Bentley Bentayga, and Mercedes-Maybach GLS suddenly seem loud, brash, almost vulgar by comparison. The Land Cruiser Century doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need to flaunt. Its silent strength speaks louder than any boast. This SUV occupies a rare, untouchable space. As I walked away, that deep blue giant stood under the fading sunlight, its surface bending light into shadow and whisper. And I realized something: this isn't just the next chapter for Toyota. It's a declaration. A declaration that Toyota can master every realm, that it can be unstoppable and divine. The Land Cruiser Century SUV isn't merely a vehicle. It's a message, that power and grace are not opposites, but partners. That luxury and capability are not rivals, but allies. For those who will own it, this SUV won't be a possession. It will be an heirloom. For those who see it pass by, it won't be a car. It will be an event. And for Toyota, it's not just the merging of two names, it's the birth of something that will be remembered long after 2026. This, ladies and gentlemen, is not the Land Cruiser you know. Not the Century you know. This is the Land Cruiser Century SUV, and it may just be the most profound statement Toyota has ever made on four wheels.